National Pokeball League Season 4 Week 8. This week the San Antonio Swamperts go up against the Commissioner, Jolt of the Token Minorities, and the Toronto Staraptors. This was looking like a pretty difficult matchup for me on paper. I mean, I don't have a lot for Mega Latios, and Talonflame pretty much wrecks my team if it's packing Natural Gift Ground. So, this is definitely a matchup that I'm going to have to be very careful with, despite it pretty much being balance versus balance. So, had to prep pretty hard, had to steel myself for this match. Pretty much have to watch out for Latios and Talonflame, and if I do that, then I should be okay. So, hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and let's get this show on the road. So starting off, he's going to be leading off with Raikou. I opt to lead with my Landorus and Incarnate. And it's looking like this Raikou's only the air balloon, so I can't Earth Power this thing. So I try to stay in on the HP Ice. And this was a little risky on my part, because my Landorus is actually a little bit more bulky this time around to try to take on the Talonflame, because I don't have a lot for that. So I opted to run a bit more of a bulky Landorus to try to take a Brave Bird with from that thing. But getting off a nice U-turn on that Raikou to weaken him for the longer run. Maybe for my Celebi. What is pretty much my thought process at the time, but leaving myself a little bit more open to Talonflame. And not the best situation I would like to be in, but it is what it is. But here I'm actually going to be going out into Conkeldurr, and he actually switches out into his Breloom here. I go for the Drain Punch to try to get off damage. I get a crit here, and this was pretty darn big. Because Breloom could have spored one of my team members, and, well, Breloom also could have done a pretty nice chunk to the rest of my team. Probably not Skarmory, but Heatran could be pretty important. And losing the ability to put something to sleep definitely hurts Jolt here pretty badly. And besides this is not a max attack Conkeldurr, and that's actually going to be coming into a little bit of play a little bit later, and you guys will see why. But anyways, he's just going to go for the Focus Punch. I'm just going to Mach Punch because I don't want to deal with this Breloom anymore. So that's an early 6-5 lead for me here. Now comes Talonflame. He goes for the Brave Bird, and I have the Koba Berry, which explains why I stayed in. And I actually go for the Rock Slide. He has a Charty Berry, but Talonflame regardless dies. And there was a calc done afterwards, and Jolt was running 32 defense EVs on his Talonflame, and I was running like 132, 140 attack EVs adamant on my Conkeldurr, and the Brave Bird damage actually wound up putting the Talonflame in range of KO range, but it was actually a roll, and I got a pretty high roll on that, so that definitely came into play. So, yeah, I've definitely lucked down on the rolls there, and one of the biggest threats to my team, pretty much out of the way turn 4. But now, out comes an even bigger threat, no, he Volt Switches here into a bigger threat in the name of Mega Latios. I was definitely thinking about going for Ice Punch there, expecting him to Volt Switch and go into Latios, but yeah, I just played it way too safe and went for the Drain Punch. But here, I don't really have much of a switch in to Mega Latios here, so I opt to stay in and go for an Ice Punch here, as he actually winds up going for the Ice Beam, and I actually wind up living that with 8%. So props to Kong for the bulk, and I just barely missed out on the KO on Mega Latios. And I actually and it actually went up living a 5. Definitely Mach Punchable range, but it's definitely going to cause him to switch out. and he actually opts to go into his Jirachi, and I just go for a Mach Punch here and follow up with another one because I just think it's the most expendable member of my team at this point, and it could be Scarfed. And based on the fact that I didn't see any leftovers on this Jirachi, I'm actually thinking that it might be a Scarf set locked into Drain Punch. So I have to go into my Alakazam here. I get a Mega off, and I wind up going for the Substitute. And I actually wind up blocking a Thunder Wave here, which was really, really impressive. Turns out that he wasn't choiced, and now I'm behind the sub. He fails to Thunder Wave me, and now I can pretty much dispatch this Jirachi with a couple of Shadow Balls. And now out comes the Raikou, and I'm just gonna try to socket this thing for some chip damage. And he winds up Volt Switching on me, hitting some initiative and going into Lucario, which now kind of prompts me to go into Skarmory. Goes for the E-Speed here, and I'm looking like in a pretty good position, but it actually looks like he's a mixed variant, and here I went for the Iron Head in case he wanted to bring out his Mega Latios or his Raikou or something, so he couldn't roost up. Well, it was mainly Mega Latios that didn't want to come in and roosting up on my Skarmory, bringing it back from the dead and whatnot. But he wound up going, but anyways, he wound up going for the Aura Sphere, then entering my Skarmory, and pretty much the next play I had to make was just go into Celebi and try to sponge an Aura Sphere from this Lucario. I am in a Assault Vest Celebi, so doing that would not have been much of a problem anyways. So now he's just going to go for the Flash Cannon, and I'm just going to U-turn here into my Heatran. My Heatran is Choice Scarfed. I pretty much outspeed the rest of his team, so I can just drop some Choice Scarfed Lava Plumes left and right. So it's pretty much GG here, and a big 5-0 for the San Antonio Swamperts. And taking out the last remaining unbeaten in the league, definitely a big motivator for the Swamperts. Next week we go up against last year's champion, Trev the King of the Atlanta Braviaries. I did last season we did have a Big 4 match. He gave me his first loss of the season, but with some events going on in the family, I just didn't really feel like battling. So I wound up taking the 6-0, but hey, the Swamperts are definitely in big spirits now, so we'll be ready for Trev for that matchup. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Rate, comment, sub, and I'll see you guys next time.